Hello, everyone, and welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Ivan, and let's get right into it. So, we have a big week ahead of us. As of this moment, the market is looking really strong. It's looking like it's going to rally. I really think that we are well positioned to continue going higher for the next couple of days. And as you can see, I have SPY and I have SPX right next to each other because I like to look at both of them equally. And on the 1 minute chart of SPY, we have this strength right before the market open. And if you come back and you look at the performance of the market the last 2 weeks, you can see that each of the last 2 weeks we've had one red day and then a continued rally. We had a large sell-off to start 2 weeks ago, to begin the trading week 2 weeks ago. Rallied, had one day where it was a massive sell-off, and then it rallied for the rest of the week. I think that we're going to have something similar, and I think that based off of the volume that we've been seeing, if I look over here on the daily for SPY, because that's going to show us the volume, we had that big volume day, the day that we gapped down, and then the dip got bought. And then after that, we've had lower volume, a little bit better, but for the most part, low volume. And that goes with the adage in the market that bulls take the stairs up and bears take the elevator down. So when we go higher, we're going to see lower volume. And when we go lower, when it starts to accelerate, that's when that big volume comes in. So based off of those two factors, I think that we are still well positioned to go higher this week. And if we look at the fear greed index, it's clearly on the fear side. And, Warren Buffett said that when others are fearful, I am greedy. And when others are greedy, I am fearful. And if you had been greedy these last 2 weeks when others were fearful, you would have made some really good money. So just keep that in mind. Also, we have some interesting earnings this week. If my computer will load. Come on, hurry up. And just for reference, I like to look at Earnings Whisper. You can follow them on Twitter. That's where I get most of my trading information, is on Twitter. But to start this week off on Monday, Palo Alto is probably the best. I'm not really interested in Zim or Estee Lauder, so I'm not even going to look at those. Lowe's, Toll Brothers, that's a good economic hedge. Oh, real quick too, Earnings Whisper, the way that he organizes his earnings, or her, I don't even know, is that they put the most important things at the top. So the most important companies, in their opinion, are on top. So Snowflake, Target, Tolls. I probably shouldn't be admitting but for that reason, I don't usually look at the bottom companies that are at the bottom. They usually have, in terms of like the stock's performance, mixed results. Sometimes, you'll get a surprise and it'll have a big winner, but for the most part, they usually trade choppy sideways regardless of what the earnings are, unless it's like really bad, in which case they get sold off heavy. But we have some big names coming up the second half of the week. Baidu, Kava, a lot of eyes are on Kava. Snowflake, I'm gonna be watching that like a hawk. Target, some the retailers reporting earnings, so we're gonna see the state of the American consumer. Lowe's and Toll Brothers, in my opinion, it's really good to see what the economic outlook in terms of house building and remodeling homes. But for the most part, it doesn't have a huge effect on the market overall. Next up, we have economic events that are going to be happening this week. Some similar to the earnings calendar, we don't really have anything too interesting the first 2 days of the week. In my opinion, these people speaking, the Fed governor and the Atlanta Fed president, aren't that big of a deal. Some, like, once in my almost 7 years of trading, have one of these people speaking actually had an impactful impact on the market. What is capable of having an impact on the market, however, is the minutes of what actually, the transcript of what actually was discussed in the meeting. Anything that is related to rate cuts will be bullish for the market. Then on Thursday, we have initial jobless claims. I think that's really big. That's really important. You should definitely have an eye on that because that can move the market. But far and away, the most important economic event this week is happening on Friday. Federal Chair Jerome Powell's speech at Jackson Hole. The last 2 years that he has spoken at Jackson Hole in Wyoming have had a huge effect on the market. I remember last year when he was speaking and he had an optimistic tone about him, the market ripped, it rallied heavy. If you had bought SPX options that day, you would have 10x'd your account. That's how volatile it was. So with that in mind, definitely, if you are under PDT, save one of those day trades for Friday, because regardless of whether it's optimistic or pessimistic, something is going to go down and it's going to bring a lot of volatility to the market, and that's going to be an opportunity for you to potentially 10x your account. So with that in mind, I'm bullish on stocks this week. And that doesn't mean that we can't have a savage red day or a mild red day. Just based off the last 2 weeks, 4 out of the 5 days were bullish, but 1 out of the 5 was bearish. So keep that in mind. Also, real quick, because I know a lot of people love NVIDIA, including myself. Just want to take a quick look at NVIDIA. Again, it's been following the market. It's been strong. It's been, 3 out of the last 10 trading days were red, but other than that, it's just been a straight upwards trajectory. And if you follow NVIDIA, it can, when it starts to move, it can move quickly and it can really surprise. So definitely keep an eye on your key levels. For me, 118, underneath 118, I'm bearish. For right now, to try to get up to 132 with 80 cents, I'm bearish. But I think, I have some doubts if we could get over that. We'll have to see. The jury's still out on that one, but I'm very much so bullish on NVIDIA above this 117.30. If this thing will load, I can tell you the exact. Okay, it's not going. Anyways, so yeah, those are my 2 key levels for NVIDIA. I'm bullish. And yeah, I just wanted to get this video out real quick to try to help you guys out, try to give you some insight into the market as I see the market. Real quick, let me go over some heavy hitters. Meta, what are you doing right now? Pre-market, not a whole lot. Apple, the largest company in the exchange, it's up, but only slightly. Tesla had a really big week last week. It was booming, and it's booming today too in the early market trading. I have my support and resistance line right here at 217 and some change. If it gets above that, we could really start to rally, be able to put multiple days together of a rally and make some really good money, the way we did last week when it bounced off of this 200 support resistance line that I have, 198.50. And yeah, so with that in mind, traders, good luck, stay safe, and I hope you make a lot of money this week. Thank you so much for your time, and I hope you have a great day. Bye.